The solar eclipse that's happening on October 14th, Saturday, will come about midday. But this one's a little bit different. When we're talking about lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, it's all about the positioning of the moon, the earth, and the sun. So this, what we're seeing here, lunar eclipse. But once the earth is then on the outside, the moon is in the middle, and the sun then is also what kind of sandwiches the moon, that's when we have a solar eclipse. And this one in particular is going to pass across the sun and not fully cover it. So it's not going to be a total eclipse. What we're going to see is that ring of fire, if you will. And so this is called an annular eclipse. It's a type of partial eclipse that we would see. So let's break it down a little bit more. What happens when the moon moves over the sun and it doesn't fully cover it, that would be a partial eclipse. Now this one in particular, as we've seen in the past, the total eclipse completely covers it. The night darkens the sky, but as that moves away, we see the sun come back out. But like I mentioned, the ring of fire is from the earth being further away from the sun, and then the moon in the middle also playing a factor. So when the moon is closer to the earth, you get the total eclipse. When the moon is further from the earth, it appears smaller to us, and you get that ring of fire, if you will, which is also a type of partial eclipse. Now, this partial eclipse is going to be about 90% is its total, because again, it's not going to fully cover the sun. And that particular path is going to be in the western U.S. It's going to move through areas like Oregon, through the Four Corners, and down across South Texas. But what about us here? We're still going to be able to see it, although we're not going to see that ring of fire, if you will. Here in South Florida and all across the state of Florida, we'll get about 50 to 60% of the sun covered. So as we're looking at what that would appear to us, the moon would start to move across the sky, cover the sun partially, because again, we're not going to be in the path where we see the ring of fire, and then it would move out of here and we would see the daylight return. Noticeable difference with the temperatures are going to be possible, and you might notice the dimming in the sky as well. So let's talk timing. For places like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, it's going to start around 11:57 in the morning on Saturday. Peak about 1:30. And that's when it would be at its full partial eclipse that we would see, and it would end around 3:10, 3:11. Same thing in the Keys, give or take a few minutes there, and that is going to be the annular partial eclipse that we will see as we head towards October 14th.